Hey, one more thing before you go. Are you one of those people that put up Christmas lights like the Griswolds? Or are you annoyed when you come around the corner and are blinded by what you see? Why can't peppermint bark be available all year long instead of just Christmas time? Right, Diane?
Yes.
Time to experience 100% Hawaiian Kona coffee after not having coffee for about 20 years or more. We are happy that you are with us. Thank you for joining us here for a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or whatever you're drinking. In this episode, that thing about Christmas lights, peppermint bark, and Kona coffee. We're your host. I'm Michael Hurst.
And I'm Diane.
Welcome to One More Thing Before You Go over the Teacup Sunday.
Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. I know that it is, again, late in the afternoon when we're posting this, but this is the holidays and we keep getting caught up with things like Christmas lights, peppermint bark, and tea or coffee,
Something like that.
and puppy dogs and, friends on TV and, things like that.
Yeah. Old episodes of Friends. They just hook me in. I can't.
Can't get away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to drag Diane away from the couch. She was just glued to the TV.
Well, it's been so long since I've seen some of those episodes. I completely forgot them. And they're like a brand new show.
What's really funny is that we have a whole Blu-ray collection
Yeah.
of the complete everything Friends,
Yeah.
including all the bonus stuff and extras and bloopers and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And we bought that probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, I was thinking at least 10, but
Well, it wouldn't be. I don't think it'd be 10. I don't remember when they went off the air.
didn't they just say they had 20 years since they'd gone off the air or something?
Probably something like that. It just we've
I
had
don't
them
know.
for a damn long time,
Yeah.
and they're still in the package,
Yeah.
collector's item,
We've
still
never
wrapped.
it's like people that collect Star Wars collectibles and they leave them in the box and never touch them.
Exactly. So
Did with the DVDs.
when people ask us about Friends, we say, "Yeah, we're fans. We have an unwrapped box. I mean, a wrapped box that's never been opened before, right there. That's how much of a fan we are.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch it.
Not going to touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Can't touch this.
Oh,
You can see
God.
me sliding
No,
across the
God,
screen. Can't touch this.
no. We're supposed to talk about Friends.
Let's talk about Christmas lights because I hope
Oh,
that, we're only a couple of weeks away from Christmas, just short of a couple of weeks away from Christmas. And, we like to put our Christmas lights up as well. In the past, we've Frankensteined it together. I'm talking about putting straight strings of lights with icicle lights, with another straight thing of lights, with LED lights and regular lights. And, we would just Frankenstein it all across the yard.
it's
Um,
it's not as bad this year. We still have a couple, like the small tree in the front does have some icicle lights and some, and half of those are burned out, and then another string of lights that aren't icicle lights. I mean,
no, we,
there's
we replaced the ones that were burned out on that one. We did replace those.
Well, we did, and they were working. And then last night when I was checking them, there are about, like, the middle section of the icicles are not lit up.
Oh, Jiminy criminy.
We've had more trouble with lights this year. And we got them up earlier this year than we've ever done. We
Well, and here's the other sad part. We invested in a whole new string of LEDs that would take care of, like we did with the roof. We have one string that will go from, like we've got a fairly large house, and it'll cover the whole top roof of the house. It goes around the eave from the one side of the garage all the way over and down. We have a little walkway comes up to our house. It just covers the whole thing and up back up the walkway, then around the other garage and all the way down the other end of the house.
and
So
and then the end of it is wrapped around the big tree.
wrapped around the big tree.
Big tree,
Exactly.
just the trunk.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we thought we'd go ahead and try to do something like that for the bushes instead of Frankensteining those together. So we bought them and then we put them up and they were doing great. And we saw the other night, it was like all of a sudden they stopped working. Couldn't
Won't
figure
work.
out why.
Nope.
And you remember the story I told you when we were a kid and we went to midnight? That's when we were still practicing Catholic. I'm a
How old
reformed.
were you in the story?
What's that?
How old were you in the story?
Um, I was probably 14, 13, 14 years old, somewhere around in there.
Mm.
But we went to midnight mass. My mother always went to midnight mass and
It was
drug.
Christmas.
Yeah, it was Christmas Eve. Drug us there. Well, you know, mom, we
Kicking.
had to go.
Yeah.
Came home and somebody had cut down all of our Christmas lights just for the hell of it. And now this, I obviously I don't ever try to give my age away here, but this is
Okay.
back when you really could leave your door unlocked.
Yeah.
And we were in a neighborhood where you really could leave your door unlocked, or you didn't have to worry about somebody ripping off your car,
It
leaving the
was just
car door unlocked.
there was obviously there was crime and there was vandalism and
Right,
stuff, but maybe it wasn't as prevalent as it is today.
as it is today.
Mm.
Where nowadays they make the rounds where they go and they stab all the. We've been seeing it on Nextdoor, the ad Nextdoor app here, where they go through and everybody puts up these big, expensive, air balloon type things like a Santa Claus and reindeers. And the guy across the street's got I think what is that? A van or a fire truck or a, I don't know what it is.
Honey, it's a taco truck.
It's a
It's
taco truck. He always got a taco truck.
like elves that serve the tacos. It's awesome.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Hmm.
Well, something, since we make homemade pizza, focaccia, and pasta, we should come up with one that serves Italian.
Like with a pizza oven.
Exactly.
We should do that.
We should make one like find one that makes like a pizza oven. Yeah,
Mhm.
Santa Claus and his elves making pizza with a pizza oven. That would work.
Yeah, yeah. We got to do that.
That would work. That's my 9% Toscani. Well, just short it, about 8.5% Toscani Italian, right? Let
Yeah.
that pop in there, and yeah, we could celebrate it from there.
You were so happy when you got those results.
It is. That's a whole nother conversation we'll have to talk about. But yeah, for I had my DNA done again because it seems like every time I have it done with somebody, they all come up with different results. Like they're not talking to each other and they think they know best. Well, I've got like three of them now, maybe four, that pretty much match like they're supposed to. And there's some outliers there. We'll have a conversation about that on one of these episodes. I
Yeah.
think it's fascinating with what DNA can do nowadays and how far back they can do. This last one that I did, it traced me back 48 generations.
That's crazy.
It traced, well, when I say that, it traced my DNA back 48 generations. It didn't
Yeah.
necessarily provide me any relatives 48 generations ago, other than the fact that it also connected me with certain individuals that I didn't know that somewhere down the line I'm related to, like Tom Hanks,
Mhm.
um, Queen
Queen Elizabeth or Queen,
Elizabeth,
wait, Queen, not, well, I guess it would be, it was like Queen Victoria. It was Queen
Queen
Victoria.
Victoria.
Right. So in a way, you would still be related to.
Yeah, and then another queen um, on my father's side as well. Another king on my or queen or king on my father's side.
You got
Uh,
royal both sides.
I've rolled on both sides and related to Napoleon Bonaparte.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but
That's probably why I'm short.
you're not short.
For a man, yeah, I'm kind of short. Well,
Average height for a man like 5'9" or 5'10". Well, okay, you're shorter than that.
I used to be 5'9",
Right.
but after all my operations, I'm like 5'8", just under 5'8", actually,
All right. Well,
because
it, join the club.
join the
All right.
club.
Short my whole life, so whatever.
Well, back to Christmas lights. Back to
Yes.
that story. The reason I related that other story was because all of a sudden our brand new expensive, one string thing to go over like 7 bushes, just stopped working. It
Yep.
was, like, frustrating as hell, they were working fine, and all of a sudden, not.
Yep.
So, we went out, and I got a replacement ordered, and the replacement came in, and as we were taking the other ones off and started looking at it, somebody had cut it. They
Yep.
literally cut it in half,
Yep.
and, it wasn't chewed by any animal. There are clean, knife cut, right,
Yeah, it was like an angled cut.
angled, clean cut on all strands. All there are like 3 strands on each, 3
Mhm.
wires on each thing, and, you could see it. It was crying clean, plain and simple.
Yeah, I had taken them off to put the new ones on yesterday, and I walk in with one string of lights in each hand, and you're like, "Wait, that's one string. What happened?" We're going through all like, oh, it took forever to get to the end, and yep, just they were all pointing up and
Yep, you could
had
figure it right away. So that kind of irritated us. Where's
oh,
your damn Christmas cheer, damn it?
so angry, so angry.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. But we got the new stuff put on, and we don't quite look like the Griswolds, but
No,
our house was lit up pretty good.
yeah,
And then George, one of the other neighbors in the here, had said, "Oh well, you should think about Dawn's house over here." And Dawn's got 70,000 lights put up on his house, her house, excuse me, on her house. And it's like, did you just say 70,000 lights? And George said, "Yep." She was bragging. Her and her husband were bragging that they put 70,000 lights up on the house.
but here's the deal. I bet if we were actually to count, like if we actually remembered how many lights are in each strand from the box, it would probably add up to. I mean, not every single little light
Well,
that could add up.
the
It does.
ones around the one around the house has 650, 640. The one on the bushes has 640. Actually, the one around the roof has, I think the one on the roof has 900, and then the bushes have 640. So,
Plus
um,
all the solar ones we have
there's nowhere near 70,000.
wouldn't come close to 70,000. I'm just saying I can kind of see where that might happen. I look at their house and I don't see that it's an
It does
overabundance.
not look like 70,000 lights. No, because you
No.
told me there's some other people in the neighborhood that
Oh,
are just like a competition across
it
the street from each other.
yes, they do it every year, and it's gotten ridiculous this year. It looks like Christmas threw up. Like
you
you
know,
drive and one's on one side, one's on the other, and you're just like, what in the and every time I've driven by, which is not every day, but every time I've driven by one of the houses, the guy has his garage open and he's putting more out.
putting
And
more lights out.
I'm like, dude, you need to stop. This is a problem.
Yeah, see, to
Like,
me, that's overkill. I mean, I think nice lights in your house doing up pretty well, I think is a good thing. When I was a kid, when I was really, really young, and when my parents were still together, and I remember my dad and my mother used to go all out. My dad would cut out these huge, he'd take a 4 by 8 sheet of plywood, and he would cut out like the nativity scene.
mhm.
And I mean, he would literally the 3 wise men,
Yeah,
the baby Jesus, the Mary Magdalene, Joseph.
your
He would.
your your mom still had that.
She didn't have these.
Oh, well, she had a wooden
Yeah,
that
that
she
was.
put out.
Yeah, she made one way later.
Oh,
Those unfortunately got destroyed. That's a
yeah.
whole another thing. But they got um, when they lost that house, they were in the garage. So those are history. But yeah, my mother would paint them. So he'd cut them out. My mother would paint them, and they put that up in the whole front yard. So you'd have a huge, and these things were like 8 foot tall, 7 foot tall, um, or at least 6 foot tall. I mean, I was a kid,
You
so when
well,
you're
it seems tall.
6, 7 years old, you're going, "Oh my god, that's
That's Jesus.
that's a
Oh,
giant." But it was really nice because they would do that, and then he'd go all out with lights and things like that, which I thought was pretty cool as a kid. And We used to do it in Woodland Park. We did it when with the kids, especially. We did the best we could there with a lot of lights.
We didn't have as
Um,
many as we have now, though.
huh?
I don't think we had as many then as we have now.
Um, no, I mean, yes, I would say it was probably close. I think we have more now. How
We
do you
didn't have
think?
didn't have as much stuff to put lights on because it was a huge lot. It was an acre, wasn't it?
We had our own lot, which is about 9,000
Or quarter
or
acre.
10. We had a 10,000 foot lot, and then next to us we had a third of an acre
Okay.
on top
So,
of that.
but the where the house sat, it was basically level. There weren't any trees really. I mean, there was a few trees, but they were like the big, huge pine trees. And then in
Like
the
100 foot pine trees with that.
right,
There's no
those-
way we're climbing up there doing that.
and then the third acre lot next to us, it was all trees.
Yeah, all like 80, 100 foot trees.
Right. So, I mean, we would have that would have been a it would have been great if we could have.
We would have been seen by the space station.
Right, but we
And everybody else in the neighborhood.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Christmas lights. I do. I think it's awesome. I just think there is a little bit of overkill sometimes. I mean,
Well,
each their not, it's not like I'm going to go and cut their lights like I don't know somebody did to us and we don't even have that whatever. It still angers me. Um
yeah, me too.
I just can't think about it. At least the new strand we got actually is brighter and works better. But,
So
I
they
think
kind of, we'll just say they did us a favor.
yeah, they did. We're gonna have to go with that because otherwise I get too angry. um, but the people that really go all out, I mean, I think it's great that they have so much Christmas spirit and I mean, as long as it's in good spirit. I'm wondering about these two houses though. I really feel like all it is a competition and it doesn't
Maybe they're
mean
trying to enter that, what is it, the great
oh, Christmas light fight.
Christmas light fight.
Yeah.
Say that real fast 3 times. I'll bet you bet you won't.
When we used to watch it, I remember it being people who had like acres and acres of land.
And they do trains and, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
and,
guys
and
compete with that.
no, I mean, and to me, that's overkill. To me,
Yeah.
that's way too much. Number one. Number two, you're pulling, here's the environmental activist in me. I think that you are doing that. You are pulling so much electricity
Mhm.
into your own little realm right there that is unfair. It's just unfair to the environment. It's unfair to those people around you. I can't imagine living anywhere in that neighborhood and having, those places lit up like that. It is, I've not gone over that. In fact, I'm gonna have to go over tonight, maybe take a walk over to Braylon, take a look at that, and see what you're talking about. But, you figure you don't want to irritate your neighbors.
No.
You don't want to, blind them so they can't sleep because you got so many lights that it's, shining through your blinds and everything else. So you lit up like daylight.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, because we don't. I mean, we have to go to the street to actually look. I don't know if they keep them on all night, but I have noticed a lot of neighbors keep their stuff on all night.
Well, see, and I don't see a necessity for that personally. I think that it again, to me, that again, and we are very environmental. We are very conscious of climate change. We're very conscious of electricity. We get our electricity from water power. Well, we're losing our water. Our water is going away, and as everybody knows, there are things that are drying up here.
Mhm.
Well, pretty soon it's going to affect the power grid. And when it affects the power grid, it's going to affect each and every one of us. So to me, I don't think it's necessary to go that far.
Yeah.
It's just an overuse of the utilities and overuse of the power system, and it's just not cool. But
But at least our solar lights stay lit all night.
our solar lights do, yeah, they do, they do, and I like solar lights other than the fact that I'm not going to say everybody. We don't say exactly where we live because of my previous profession, but it's one of those things that we have a north south facing house, so the sun is very weird in that way for how we are able to utilize solar
Hmm.
in those kind of solar lights. So it would be beneficial if we could do it with all of them, but I don't think they really get fully charged like they're supposed to because they're
Yeah,
not in direct sunlight. They're
yeah.
just picking up ambient sunlight.
We have a hard time with the
Yeah.
solar. But
And and it's, I'm all for Christmas. I mean, I think that eh, personally, this is just my opinion. I think Christmas become too commercialized, and people are struggling and they're bitching about gas and they're bitching about the price of groceries and the price of everything, but they went out and spent a record $1.9 billion on Black Friday.
Mhm.
So you can't be suffering too much or griping too much because you just spent $1.9 billion buying stuff
It's true.
from that perspective. And I just think it's again, I just think it's too commercialized. When the kids were small, we try to do really good Christmases, but we tried to make up for the fact that I was working all the time. Most of the time, working either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. How many times did I come home? We're not going to we're not going to give anything away for any kids listening to this. We'd come home and meet Santa Claus. I'd come home from work and meet Santa Claus at 12:30 in the morning and wake you up, and then we'd help Santa put all the gifts out underneath the tree,
Oh,
kind of a thing. And
yeah.
then we wouldn't get to bed till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then of course the kids are up at
5.
yeah, uh, that kind of
Mm-hmm.
a thing. But so we really went all out on those
Yeah.
Christmases. But I think it I've noticed it more and more in some conversations that I've been watching on like GMA and some of these other news programs where people are kind of going, let's take Drew Barrymore, for example. Drew Barrymore says that she really doesn't buy her kids like a boatload of gifts.
Right.
She doesn't want that to be the only factor involved in Christmas.
Mhm.
I think that it looks more about family and food, good food and family, and one or two gifts I think is great. You get to show somebody that you love them and appreciate them, but to go that I won't say extravagant because it's not really extravagant. I mean, if you got the money to do it, I guess do it. But
I think it's more fun when you have little kids.
it
Like
is,
Christmas can just be more fun. I don't know.
and it's harder the older kids get what to get them
It really is.
because they want expensive stuff. It's
Well,
not
they're
just
adults. They're adults. They need the stuff.
yeah, they need the expensive stuff. What do you need? Well, I need a Keurig coffee maker, the one with a grinder on top, and it does this. I need an espresso machine. I said, okay, how much is an espresso machine? It's $495. Well, you're on your own. So yeah,
Ain't gonna happen.
I'll give you like a little bit towards that. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, it's. I think it's sad that we've become so commercialized with some things and how it starts. Do you know that when your parents were here and Denny and I went over to Lowe's and it was before Halloween
Or
and they
Halloween.
were already taking down all the Halloween stuff and putting Christmas stuff up. Halloween wasn't even over yet, hadn't even begun yet, and they were already taking down all the Halloween stuff and putting up Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So, anyway, speaking of Christmas stuff,
Mm-hmm.
let's move on to one of your favorite staples of
I
the
haven't
holidays.
haven't had any.
You've
Oh,
had you've had something that was similar.
I'm trying to be better, and it worked last year. Last year I didn't have an issue. I did not have a problem not having it. I don't know. I blame being postmenopausal that now I need it. I need the chocolate. I need all the stuff.
Well, we're teasing people, so let's tell everybody what you're talking about.
Peppermint bark. So what
Okay.
I did last year, and I've been trying to do this year, is um, there's a brand of protein bars that only during the holidays they have a it's peppermint bark protein bar. It's pretty good. It's not like it's. I mean, I love it. It's really good. It's not peppermint bark, but they do their best to make it the version of peppermint bark. I
It's
was
their version of peppermint bark.
right, and it's a healthier. Obviously, it's healthier than actual peppermint bark, but Ghirardelli peppermint bark. I may have to do it.
Well, we've kind of our Christmas shopping started earlier this year for us because we allowed ourselves to kind of redo the patio or finish the patio.
Yeah, it's kind of been Christmas the last few months because of that.
Yeah, we had to get some stuff done that we've been trying to get done since we moved here, and that's been a number of years. And you know, it was just the time to do it finally, just to do it. So we got kind of an early Christmas is what we got. So we'll have to go find you some peppermint bark.
Yes. Well, I did see some at Costco, but that was a big, huge, like they make in the, I don't know if they make it in the bakery or however they get it, but it was a huge thing of,
Now, okay, since you're an aficionado of peppermint bark,
I don't know about that, but okay.
well, you love it and you desire it, you seek it out, you know what's good and what's bad. That makes you an aficionado, right?
Okay.
What's the glamour of peppermint bark? Because I don't ever get to really, other than the Aloha bar that I had, that was just kind of a taste, right? So what's the lure? What is it about peppermint bark that we should have it all year long instead of just at Christmas?
Yeah. What is that about? Why don't we have it all the time? Um, I don't know. I, I it's because it's crunchy and creamy at the same time.
It's like gingerbread. Why do we all only have gingerbread cookies at Christmas?
I don't think that's true. You can get ginger snaps all the time.
We get ginger snaps, but not gingerbread cookies.
Well, now that I helped your sister make some the other day and I can have her recipe, I will make gingerbread. I'm going to make them. They
Well,
were,
and now that we found some gluten-free flour,
yeah.
that really is like fantastic.
Hmm.
Um,
I may have
because
to start
yeah, we'll have to start making peppermint bark, not peppermint bark. We could
gingerbread.
try making peppermint bark
I,
gingerbread cookies.
I imagine peppermint bark is a little more difficult to make than I mean, good peppermint barks. Probably harder to make than making cookies.
I'm sure it would be. And
But
now part of that's probably because they don't sell like candy canes, which is
yeah,
loads of peppermint. You can buy peppermint, the
yeah.
pieces.
I'm not going to go. I'm not. I don't need it that much. Where I'm going to try to make it myself.
You have to
That's
buy it.
way too much effort.
But if anybody's out there listening that really, 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 thinks that we should enact a law that says peppermint bark should be available all year long,
Start a petition.
um, yeah, let us know. We'll sign that petition.
Yeah.
Or
Yum. No, I
there we
really
go.
want.
Let's talk about what I'm going to try. I've been off of coffee because I manage my disease, as you all know. And those are for you that are new to the podcast. I have an autoimmune disease, and I manage that disease with diet, and I manage it with diet and exercise, actually. And because of that, I'm very limited in a lot of things that I can eat and a lot of things that um, drink. And coffee was one of them. There's something in coffee that, although it's beneficial, they're saying, I mean, it keeps going back and forth. They're good for you, it's bad for you. It's good for you, it's bad for you. Good for you, it's bad for you.
That happens with dark chocolate, and it happens with salt, and it happens.
Exactly. It all depends on in moderation. It number one. It all depends upon amount of consumption. It's not just if you have it every once in a while, and then it's not going to kill you. But if you have it 12 times a day, it
Mhm.
might. It's one of those things. So I've been reading up and hearing a lot about the fact that I should have Kona coffee, Kona pure Hawaiian 100% Kona coffee. So you let me buy a treat of my own, and so we got a Kona 100% Kona coffee
Yeah.
beans from Hawaii, and my understanding is they're like less acidic, and it's supposed to be more beneficial for people who have an inflammatory reaction to coffee in general.
Mhm.
So it's supposed to be more beneficial in that regard, and not inflame me, not irritate me, not irritate my gut, and this kind of a thing. So I'm really excited about trying it.
Is it supposed to be less caffeine?
It is not. Well, this is a medium roast anyway, so they didn't have any decaffeinated on there, which if I like this, I may try to find and see if they have any decaf. And if they got decaf, maybe I'll just kind of either mix it and or continue on with decaf if it works out really well. Had to, we had to get a grinder too, because we have an old grinder up in the cupboard. I'll show you where it's at again.
Found it.
I think so. I can't see it up there, but it looks like it. So we had to get a grinder, but and there's supposed to be you're supposed to be able to grind it a particular way to put it for the Keurig. Um, and the fact that it to make it taste the best. So I'm kind of excited about trying it. I think it's going to be a neat, unique experience, and everybody that all the reviews that I read about drinking 100% pure Kona coffee is great. You can get a Kona blend mix at the store, but it's usually only 10% Kona coffee, and this is 100% Kona coffee.
It's going to be weird to see you drink coffee again.
Yeah, it'd be kind of strange.
That's why this is called over the teacup, because you just drink tea and you've drank tea for over 20 years.
We'll have to change it to over the teacup / Hawaiian coffee cup.
That's a long name.
uh, we can go over the teacup aloha coffee time,
I don't know. I
or
think I think we should just rename this whole thing that we do on Sundays Random Thoughts Sundays, because it is kind of random. We're talking about random things.
random stuff. Well, that's what Sundays are for. Having a conversation about random crap,
Sure.
random stuff, random stuff,
We'll just call it random crap on Sunday.
random. That's it. Random crap. Welcome to the show. Random crap. I wonder if using the word crap, we have to mark it explicit.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I don't. I would hope not. I mean,
Would hope not.
would hope not.
I mean, we already police ourselves from how we actually talk at home.
Well, and I mean, it's difficult to be able to. Yes, we do, and I think it's okay that we do that.
Mhm.
I think in certain circumstances, obviously, I cuss like a sailor or a cop.
And I'm
Um,
nice to meet you.
you're what?
And I'm a truck driver,
A
is the
truck
way I.
driver. Yeah. So that's how we normally talk, but uh, we may slip that in there every once in a while. I'll have to check the rules on Apple to find out whether or not we could really say
It's getting
beep
hard.
beep beep beep.
It's getting harder to police my mouth anyway, especially when we talk about
People
being.
cutting our Christmas lights.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
we can always say the F word, F word, F word, F word. They cut our lights, F word, F word, F word. Those SOB B's,
It
those
doesn't have the.
didn't have the same impact.
No.
Didn't have the same impact. Um, so how do you feel about Christmas closing in this quick? It seems like it snuck up on us really, really, really fast.
Like I said last Sunday on my Random Thoughts episode, I don't know where the hours go. I swear, I feel like we've been awake for 3 hours today. And it's going on really late. So it's annoying and I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. There's nothing I can do about it, but time just seems to.
Yeah, when we were younger, way younger, it seemed like a day took forever.
Yes.
Is this day ever going to end? Is this day ever going to end?
Remember how long
Now,
the summers seemed when you were a kid? The summers seemed to be like a year and a half long. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
And now you kind of go, where the hell did the day go? I know I can say that. It's okay. Where the hell did the day go? It disappears so fast. And by the time you start doing stuff, and then by the time you get around to it and you look at the clock and you go, wow,
Mm-hmm. It's
it's just
annoying.
gone. Well, I feel the same way about this holiday. I cannot believe that we're less than 2 weeks away from Christmas. It is, don't worry, kids. We've got what we're getting for you should be going out in the next couple of days if you're listening to this or when you listen to this.
watch.
Hmm?
I don't think they even watch the show.
Oh, they do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi,
So,
girl.
yeah,
Hi.
you, so yeah, the I think that and I don't know if it's just because of the last couple of years, especially during COVID, we had those couple of years where there was no contact and you weren't supposed to go out and travel and you weren't supposed to do a lot of things. I mean, your parents were here um, when everything kind of really shut down,
Yeah.
and they were kind of going, maybe we need to get back. In fact, they
Mhm.
cut their vacation short so they could go back, not knowing what was going to happen.
Because it seemed like that was the way it was going, that things were
And
going to.
yeah, and we really hadn't seen them. You and I hadn't seen them for a couple of years before they came out this October. We hadn't seen them for probably 2.5 years.
Since 2019. Yeah. Well, wait.
2020.
2020. Right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So we hadn't seen them for about 2.5 years. So it is. I think that created an environment where people reevaluated um, things, not just money and what you're going to spend on somebody. Although, again, people spent $1.9 billion. They broke a record for how much money was spent, and that didn't include Cyber Monday and the days afterwards. I can say that we unfortunately spent more money than we really should have spent. But at the same time, there were things around the house that needed to be done, and we just took
Yeah.
the opportunity to do that instead.
We really this year have been spending on house. We
Yeah.
haven't done much for ourselves.
Well, considering a couple of years ago, we were actually literally planning a trip to France
Yeah.
where we wanted, we were trying to work out the dates and the times and when we were going to go and what we wanted to go see and where we wanted to, and that just didn't happen because of COVID and everything. And then now, of course, um, life goes on. I mean, the kids came out in October along with your parents, and we got to spend and we did Thanksgiving early with them because it was nice to have everybody together. We hadn't had everybody together in
Years.
years. I can't say how long. Yeah, I really can't say how long.
Well, within I think 2017, everybody was here because Dad was here.
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
probably since 2017. So it's been a while. It's been a
Right.
while.
Mm-hmm.
So it. I think in 2018, um, when your parents came out to help with your father, the kids come out, or Nikki was still here. Yeah, Nikki was here, but Caitlin and Cord came out.
They were all here, and
Yeah,
then they all came back for my birthday that year in 2018.
we surprised you.
They did.
It was a surprise.
Our big 5-0.
Yeah, we
Woo.
don't normally get to surprise you. We usually figure it out.
I
But
was very for that day. I was very hungover because
yeah,
you had a party the day after my birthday. So on my birthday we went out, and of course everybody couldn't. They couldn't stop me because they couldn't say, "Hey, you're going to want to slow down because you're going to have like all these guests in your house," and you know, you you, you couldn't tell me because you wanted it to be a surprise. So
yeah, it
I
was
was
pretty good.
well at my own party.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was
Yeah,
just good.
yeah. So
Um,
yeah, it's coming up, and I can't believe it's more. It just feels like I just had a birthday. It's not fair. Why does it happen so fast?
yeah, the older we get, that'll be another episode. The older we get, the faster time goes. It seems like,
Hmm.
and our friends go, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, we start losing friends and that kind of a thing, which is kind of sucky. So I don't know. But
very.
hey, this is supposed to be something very, we're supposed to be cheering people up, encouraging people. This is Christmas time. Christmas, Christmas.
It's freezing in here.
It is freezing in here. We're having a cold spell here in Arizona.
Oh,
We're
cold.
having, we are definitely having a cold spell. In fact, it's supposed to get down to, in our area, down to 32, 33, 34 degrees
Overnight.
starting Monday, Monday through Thursday, I think, Thursday or Friday. Like all damn week is supposed to be that way. It's like,
Right.
wow,
I thought it was only going to be Tuesday, but
new. It's going
yeah,
to be in the low 30s. All week is going to be in the low 30s. Starting tomorrow, actually, it'll be in the
Great.
low 30s all week.
I'm already
So,
cold.
yeah, not cool. Not cool,
It's
not cool. So, anyway,
70 degrees in here and I'm freezing like it's 30.
well, do you remember in Colorado how my sister would come out and we'd make fun of her for wearing a coat in 70 while we're wearing t-shirts?
I'm
And
sorry. I'm sorry, Mary.
yeah, we're those people now.
It's karma. Karma's a bitch. Oh, I can say that, right?
Exactly.
Can I say bitch?
Sure. You
Okay,
said it
karma.
twice, so we'll find out. We come back and Apple censures us, then it's your fault. You'll be
Okay.
suspended for 2 weeks.
All right. Whatever.
Um, well, I hope everybody is getting ready for Christmas. If you haven't put up your lights, you got less than 2 weeks to put them up. And
By law.
then by law, yeah, Christmas law, you have 2 weeks to put them up. Uh, yeah, I used to have a direct line to Santa Claus, but I think I've lost that somewhere. Uh, if you have the opportunity to try Kona coffee, or if you've tried it and you've got great recipes with it, or how to grind it, please let me know. Michael at onemorethingbefore.you.go.com, because I'm trying to figure out the best way to grind it in order to use it in the Keurig, in order to make myself a cup of coffee that I haven't had in probably 20 years, 22 years or more. Um, and we'll see. And if it kills me, then Diane will be on next week by herself. Uh,
I don't think
uh,
it's.
So we'll see what happens. Um, but we hope that we've got one more Sunday, I think, before Christmas that we'll talk to you guys. But in the meantime, get your Christmas lights up. If you're a Griswold, let me know. If you're not a Griswold, you hate Christmas lights, let me know. Let's take a little poll. Email me, or something. I'm going to put a poll up. Well, I'm kind of getting away from Twitter because of what's happening at Twitter at the moment. I'll have to figure that one out.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me know. Talk to me, man. Michael at one more thing before you go.com. One more thing before you go.com. I've not been drinking today. And you can, tell me if you have any suggestions for shows or whatever the case may be, or contribute to this poll. We'll answer the poll next week. Keep in mind, over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 or 5 weeks, we've got some outstanding guests coming up for the regular programming on Wednesday. And I'm looking forward to having a conversation with each and every one of them. I hope you've enjoyed the way that the podcast has evolved in moving in the direction that it's moving. Luckily, thankful to you all by the download numbers. It seems to be working pretty well. Again, if you're enjoying it, you're liking it, what you don't like about it, let me know. Drop me an email. Go on the website, look at the little microphone in the bottom corner. You can actually leave me a verbal message. It'll get right to me. So I want to say thank you very much for being part of a One More Thing Before You Go family. Don't forget to support us by subscribing, following, and subscribing to us. Subscribe, follow, like, share it, and please support us with Buy Me a Coffee or on our exclusive merchandise shop. And we would greatly appreciate your support into that, so we can continue to keep bringing you this kind of stuff.
Yep.
So any last word, Diane? One more thing before we go?
I send me some peppermint bark, man. I don't know. I love peppermint bark. Had
Send me
me
some peppermint bark. Yeah. Or send us a private jet so we can go to the peppermint bark factory and we'll just pick it out ourselves.
okay.
How about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Wherever that is cold.
Wherever
No.
it is. Yeah, I'm sure it's probably damn cold. But whatever it is, we will talk to you again before Christmas. But in the meantime, hope you guys are doing well. Thank you again for listening to One More Thing Before You Go. And we will see you in the next episodes.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of One More Thing Before You Go. Check out our website at beforeyougopodcast.com. You can find us as well as subscribe to the program and rate us on your favorite podcast listening platform.